Good morning, Guardians. Briar Rabbit here. Today I want to talk about leaks, and one leak, a potential leak anyway, in particular, that's coming out of Reddit right now. And I want to caution everybody to be very skeptical right now. We're going to see a lot of quote-unquote leaks coming out about Destiny 2 in the next few months until the hopeful announcement of Destiny 2 and hopeful release of Destiny 2 in 2017. Until we actually hear Bungie confirm anything, this stuff is all speculations. Just because somebody calls it a leak doesn't mean it's a leak. It could very well be made up. Now, today we're going to talk about one leak in particular, but I think it's important to remember that today at 4:30 Eastern Time, Activision is actually going to have a conference call, their quarterly earnings call, and a lot of people are going to be looking to them to basically confirm that Destiny 2 is coming out in 2017. Hopefully, I'm hopeful that they will say, yes, it is coming out in 2017. It's unlikely they'll share any details about the story or how the new engine or how the game's going to work and function. But I would like to hear them say, yes, it's coming out in 2017. So that being said, we are going to have some hopeful news later today. But leaks like we're seeing today on Reddit, this is stuff I really want to be skeptical of. First of all, the source. It's by a Redditor called Inside Leaks. I looked him up, couldn't find any previous posts. As far as I can tell, it's a brand new account, so there's no way to vet his history. There's no way to know if he's been right in the past about Destiny. He claims that he's got contact with an employee within the administrative ranks of Bungie. There's no way of confirming that. Obviously, he's not going to share his source, even if it's a real source. But he goes ahead and he talks about some information. I'm going to quote him pretty much verbatim as we go on. The next installment in the Destiny franchise will be revealed as Destiny 2 Forge of Hope. It will be launching in Q4 2017 with an estimated window release of November 4th to November 18th. The next installment will be launching on 5 platforms: PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox Scorpio, and PC. Console exclusivity will remain with PlayStation, but the exclusive period will be reduced to 3 months. The game has a whole new engine built from the ground up with the ability for Bungie to rapidly create and add new content to the world of Destiny. Bungie is scheduling for an event release every 1 to 2 months, centering around a theme similar to Overwatch, while also delivering new narrative paths and new gameplay mechanics. He talks a little bit about the story here. This could be considered spoilers if it ends up being true, so be wary of that moving forward. The sequel will heavily focus on chronological events set after the fall 2015 expansion, The Taken King. The Cabal forces attack the city, leaving the civilians and mentors of the tower defenseless. It is the Guardians' job to fight back the Cabal and reclaim the city. While doing so, the Guardians will discover the long-lost stories of Queen Marisov and the Exo-Stranger's motives. The story will culminate with the tower and city fighting back the Cabal Empire, resulting in the Guardian defeating the leader of the Cabal in the new raid. He also goes on to talk about the future of Destiny. Bungie is planning to release a substantial content update for each quarter, similar to the April update. Bungie already has a small team working on the first major expansion to be released in fall of 2018. Details are limited, but it is aimed to be centered around the Vex and the origins of Kaber and Praedyth. Finally, he seems to have edited his post with some new information. He says, due to the new engine, Bungie had to make the hard decision of previous characters being left behind. The upside to this is the new release will have a more customizable character creation, including facial hair and class-themed face paint and tattoos. In a few days, I'll be presenting info about the upcoming spring update, which will be releasing early May. All right, so here's my thing about this post. It does not feel legit to me, and I'll tell you why. It's because it seems to be a bunch of stuff tacked on to things that we previously already had leaked or heavily rumored. Things like the Cabal raid, the Cabal attacking the city. This stuff all comes from the Mega Bloks leak. Stuff about the engine of Destiny and the way that the engine has had to be revamped. That all comes from Jason Schreier over at Kotaku. Things about the way that DLC and expansions will be iterated on and changed to come out in a faster way. That comes from Activision itself in their last earnings call. So even though there are a few tidbits that seem like new information here, it's all tacked on to stuff that, you know, seems to be either confirmed or nearly confirmed in the past. Destiny 2, Forge of Hope, you know, that's a heavily rumored title already. PS4 exclusives, that's heavily rumored already. You know, there's a lot of stuff in here that was previously heavily rumored. So it's hard to say, you know, it's hard to say this is a new leak. It seems to me like it's a bunch of previous leaks compiled together and then with a little sprinkling of what seems like new information on top of it. So to me, I don't have a lot of faith in this one. You know, it's really up to you. It's a rumor. It's a potential leak, but we have no idea at this point. We do know that there are some leaky faucets over at Bungie. You know, we know Jason Schreier has an inside source at Bungie because the stuff he's come out with has proven to be basically 100% correct. You know, does this guy have a similar source? Could it be the same source? We don't really know at this point. It'll be interesting to find out in the future. It's hard to say this is news right now. To me, it doesn't seem like it's legit. You know, it's a nice hook, right? It's a nice hook to get people excited about, you know, finding out what happened to Queen Marisov and the Exo Stranger's backstory and motives. You know, these are nice hooks, but I don't really know that we can expect to see this stuff in Destiny 2. It'd be nice to see it, but I don't really know if this is actual insider information. So that's how I'm moving forward. It's, you know, I'm mentally taking note of what's in this post, but I'm not convinced that it's accurate. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.